My name's Bryan, and I'm a 28-year-old, and I've just had open heart surgery to repair a mitral valve, which I had a severe regurgitation from. My original plan for this was to do some brief bit of journaling before I went into hospital, while I was in hospital, and then some of the recovery period after. But time got the better of me with all the other stuff I had to do beforehand, so the before didn't happen. And so now I've got some energy towards the end of my stay at hospital. I thought I might do a quick couple of video clips just to catch up. I couldn't find many people that had gone through my particular experience, particularly around my age. And in those that I did, I found quite useful. So I thought I'd just add a little bit more to the bulk that's there. Alright, brief background. So, as I said, mitral valve regurgitation is what I had repaired. Normally, I would be considered a young patient if I got this done around about 60. However, being 28, there's some other sort of reasons that have been involved, pretty much from birth. I potentially have something called Marfan's, which is a connective tissue disorder. So, various sort of limbs move more than they should. I am quite tall, about 194 centimetres, about 6'5". And there's a few other things that come with that, but that's a main sort of side effects along with the heart problems. Known about the mitral valve regurgitation for the better part of 9 years, and only had to start making the decision to do some surgery on it from about 13 months ago. That was at the point where I was told exercise really wasn't actually good for me. And that we should think about doing surgery. Fortunately or unfortunately, before actually seeing my surgeon, I went and read up as much as I could about mitral valve replacement, because that's at least previously it's been a more common sort of thing. And so I had resolved myself to being on warfarin for the rest of my life. So when finding out that I was having a repair instead, which the running assumption is that I won't have to deal anything more about until something else gets me, that was quite a relief. So I haven't really had any oh my gosh sort of moments recently about having to actually undergo the surgery. Brief vital statistics. So I said I'm quite tall. Average fitness. Used to do reasonable amount of sport. Can walk any sort of distance for any amount of time. Used to walk home for a good hour or so after a night out. No problems. Averages for some of my symptoms showed up because I've known about palpitations since I was in grade 3 actually, about 9. When doing sport, I would get physically tired very quickly, rather than breathless. So I would just have all the energy sapped out of me before everyone else was running out of breath. Having always been like this, I thought that was normal, but apparently it isn't quite. And the other one that's beginning to frustrate me quite recently was that I sleep a lot. I've used a couple of little applications on my for starters, I was sleeping for a good 8 hours a day. I was doing 2 jobs, neither of which are at all strenuous, but I would find myself really needing to have about an hour sort of nana nap at about 3 o'clock in the middle of the day, and which is really, really not good when you're driving from one workplace to the other. After I've finished work in preparation for the surgery, used a couple of iPhone apps to find out how much I actually do sleep for, and on average I sleeping for about 9.5, 10 hours to get fully rested. So I'll be able to keep a measure on that as I recover, hopefully. But other than that, went in last Wednesday, had the surgery on Thursday morning, and I'll talk a bit about that in a sec.